Since we are here to celebrate the launch of Mitch's book, I think what we'll do is start with a few words from the author himself about avoiding extinction, reimagining legal services for the 21st century.
We are now living in the most exciting time ever to be involved with the legal services industry. And you notice I use the term legal services industry because myself and many other people believe that we are part of an industry. Professionals are one part of the industry. So we'll have LPOs, we'll have legal tech, we'll have lawyers, we'll have in-house counsel, but it is an industry. Which means that there are a number of opportunities, growing number of opportunities for forward-thinking entrepreneurs in the legal industry. It's an endless array of opportunities. Legal services is not just for lawyers anymore. So lawyers really can't be complacent when they look at the industry. Perhaps the best way to illustrate this and some of my thoughts on the current state of legal services is to use an analogy to software, right? When we purchase software, we want to get the most up-to-date version, right? When I go to my computer every week or so, a little icon will pop up and say, updates available. And I'll click on it and it'll say, you know, you have version 3.5 now, version 4.0 is now available, do you want to update? And I always say yes, because I want to be up to date. I don't really know what the update is, but I just want to make sure that I'm fully up to date. So if we look at, say, Law 1.0, which is the classic law firm model, lawyer-centric. You make an appointment with your lawyer, you go to the lawyer's office, they have nice brown paneling, very expensive offices. They bill by the hour, right? Because apparently every minute of every hour is of equal value. Whatever the lawyer does is worth all this money. Highly unlikely, but that's the model. Law firms of 1.0 would have, you know, a quaint partnership structure, which is really great if you have 4 or 5 partners. Not so good if you have 50, 60, 100, 200 partners. It's a pretty unwieldy structure, right? Hard to get decisions made when everyone else is voting on it. And their interests are going to be in conflict with what the firm wants to do as a whole. We run this rather insane associate to partnership tournament. We take bright, excited, fun-loving law students, suck the life out of them, and have them forsake everything that they held dear before they went to law school in order to show that they're worthy of partnership. Probably not the most efficient way to run a hiring process. In terms of long-term vision, again, with a partnership structure, hey, we've got too many cats to herd. It's hard to get the vision through. And we have managing partners who, quite frankly, and let's be honest, their whole role is to make sure the ship doesn't sink. No one wants to sink the ship on their watch. So it's all about keeping the ship afloat, keeping people happy. It's not really about long-term vision. And how do we retain these lawyers in Law 1.0? Money. We throw piles of money at them because that's the only reason they're at the firm. If another firm offers them more money, they're going to move. And what happens? They'll suck out clients. So it's not a terribly stable model either. That's Law 1.0. We know a lot of Law 1.0 firms now. There's a lot of them in Canada. Then you'll have the firms that have sort of variations, right? Law 1.2, maybe Law 1.6. They'll do some, you know, innovative things. So maybe they'll let some lawyers work from home from time to time. They'll do some interesting things with KM, maybe sell KM to make some money, allow their clients to be a little bit more efficient. They might move their back office to a low-cost center, right? Use LPOs from time to time. But again, they're essentially Law 1.0. They're still billing by the hour. Alternative fees are the exception rather than the rule. Mostly so that they can say, yeah, we do alternative fees. but it's just not right for your deal. But we do them. Don't worry, we're up on this stuff. And so we have firms throughout the world who are mired in the 1.0 series of law firms. A series of 1.0 law firms that Dickens, if he were alive today, would readily recognize, which is kind of frightening because a model that works in the 1800s shouldn't really be used now in 2012. So my view is Law 1.0 and all the series of 1.2s and 1.3s is really at the end of its natural life cycle. We need a new model. So we go to Law 2.0, which in my view is the ABS. It's a breath of fresh air. That's why I'm so excited about being here. Now we can have outside investment that'll drive efficiencies, drive innovation, and really have a strong management focus on long-term vision for the firm. It's no more herding of cats. Alternative fees are the rule rather than the exception. There's going to be a strong focus on technology and knowledge management. But we can do better, right? We can do better. 2.0 is the start. I suggest to you that Law 3.0 is where we want to eventually get to. And that would be the BFC model that's in my book. Based on Law 2.0, the ABS structure, corporate structure, independent board of directors, strong management focus on long-term vision, retained earnings to continually reinvest to make ourselves better, faster, cheaper, moving to low-cost office space, no more associate partner tournament. We have a philosophy of stewardship and custodianship, as Stephen talks about in his books, that the firm is greater than the sum of its parts. Lawyers come to Law 3.0 firms because of the environment and the work processes. They're not there for the money. That's not what keeps them at the firm. Clients, conversely, go to Law 3.0 firms. Why? Quality and process. That's what keeps them at that firm. It's not the personality of the partner. They're not easily pried away. Your lawyers aren't easily poached. Your clients aren't easily poached. Now ask yourself as clients, is that the kind of firm that you want to be dealing with? Or do you want to be dealing with a 1.0 firm that was set up to do business 150 years ago? But the thing that the legal profession has to do, is it has to be aware of the changes that are happening around them. They have to understand that the playing field is changing. They have to understand what the other players in the industry are doing. Unfortunately, most lawyers are sitting up in the bleachers, having a pint, looking at the playing field and say, well, that's pretty interesting, but it's not really right for us. Right? It's not really right for us. And that's really dangerous. Because if law firms and lawyers are not taking part in how the playing field is being shaped, there may not be a playing field for them to play on somewhere down the road. So in conclusion, to make that point even more clear, because Carl said we could have a little bit of fun, I wrote a haiku. Now, it's not very good, because I'm not a haiku kind of guy, but I gave it my best shot because I thought it would be fun. So it goes, sleeping lawyers miss chances to form the pitch. Reaper smiles. Thanks.